track record only goes so far, and sometimes actually a fresh perspective is actually a very, very good thing. And I generally think that, when I look at filmmakers, even just artists in general, I tend to find that their best work is relatively early on, when they're just, either they're one of their very first films or their first really big break. So
yeah,
it's very rare that you get a filmmaker whose best movies are towards the end of their career, and it's the same with almost every kind of artist that I can think of. There are very, very few people. I think Hitchcock is an example of someone who, improved with age. Wagner, but otherwise, yeah, I think it's good that we're getting fresh blood. I think Philippa Boyens said it, that fresh eyes on this story is a good thing.
yeah, and I'm
You know what?
Yeah, go on.
I was excited. Firstly, because there was actually a show in the making, but it
Cool.
didn't bother me that they weren't that they weren't experienced in running a TV show, because in the film and TV industry, people have come a long way before you actually see them do anything. Like, they have worked so hard, and they didn't come from just sitting on the couch and then one day waking up and saying, you know what, I want to be a showrunner. I can guarantee you, they have done so much and they have worked so hard to get to where they are. And then on top of that as well is the fact that they have built this massive team around them of extremely talented and skilled people. Yes, you can speculate in that some may have left to start something else. That part of their journey was past. It doesn't necessarily have to mean anything other than the fact that their job was done on the show. But they have this team around them, and the team is massive, and they haven't even I'm pretty sure they haven't even announced half of that team yet. So I'm not worried. I think they're going to do an amazing job.
Can I throw in the counterpoint?
Go on.
Yeah.
Sure.
Nice counterpoint. Really enjoyed
Yeah.
that counterpoint.
Very astute.
And I'd like to chime in quickly too, if possible, before he comes back. Amazon has spent over $1 billion just in the production of this TV show, so there's no way they're going to hire some
To
really
this
bad
scale.
showrunner. They're going to hire
Yeah.
the best of the best of the best. There's no way they're just going to get some really crappy showrunner.
Well, but we don't know that they are good. We don't know that they're bad. And one of the and having just fairly recently gone the transaction to middle management to say, directing the entire shebang, is that if you're inexperienced in one area, it can be hard. For example, if I don't have a lot of experience in one channel of marketing, it can be hard to manage the people in that team. Now you've got some people that, sure, they've put together some scripts and screenplays, but now all of a sudden they're overseeing the entire production. It might be hard for them to keep a handle on what everyone is doing. It's one thing to go from managing a small thing to a big thing, but we've never even seen what. But the problem is with the people on the team are still people, and they may, if given an inch, take a mile. I'm just saying that the lack of experience is something that I find concerning. Now, I'm not saying I'm freaking out about it. Perhaps they sold them on a vision, and as Hin has said, many people, many directors, artists, earlier work is some of their greatest stuff out there. So who knows? It could end up very well. As it is, it's room for concern, but it's not something to panic about and
Yeah. I
get
think what it
freaked
comes
out
down
over.
to is their ability to communicate with their team, and the fact that it's really important that these showrunners understand where they fall short and what they don't know, so that they can employ people who know what they're doing and trust that they know what they're doing in that area, which is also why I think they have such a massive team, both of writers, showrunners, producers, co-producers, people who work in different areas. So I definitely agree that it is a little bit of a, because it's so important to us. This show means the world to everyone who loves Tolkien. It's so important. It's done right. But I don't think that that is enough. Like, the fact that they're not experienced in it is enough of a reason when we haven't even seen what they've done yet. I think they're going to surprise us.
And there is
Yeah.
you made a very good point that I didn't address before, is all the people around them, all the other members of the crew are very, very experienced veterans. I remember looking through some of their, CVs, that they've done some pretty big TV and film projects. So the showrunners are new, but people around them are absolute, like, consummate professionals. Yeah.
Have you ever worked in an environment where the person in charge is really inexperienced and an amateur, overseeing a department of veterans and experts? It can be a challenge for them to maintain control of the room, and they
But
have
they
to
don't have to. That's the point.
they
Don't
okay.
have to.
They have to by control. I'm not saying wielding an iron fist and cracking the whip. I'm saying keeping everyone on the same vision and enthusiastic and moving forward. And if you're inexperienced and you're out of your depth, people will see that, and some people may take the opportunity to run amok and run their department or division as their own little fiefdom without that supervision, and things can fall apart. Or people can see it as an opportunity to, okay, well, let me help this guy, let me do what I can to make this green person's job easier. So I mean, there's I'm to me, out of everything, this is what I see as the most cause for concern, personally. Not anything to panic about, but it is a concern of mine.
Yeah, I can see your point. I can see your point.
Though. Yeah. So there are showrunners, but there's also directors. It's a very complicated working environment. I don't know.
Yeah.